We are so happy to have made it to Jefferson City to witness the senatorial committee meeting for Bill 628, which is the police body camera bill sponsored by St. Louis Senator Jamilah Nasheed. Ms. Lezley McFadden, she also did testify. This is the mother of Michael Brown. Michael Brown was shot and killed by a police officer, and a police body camera would tell the story of exactly what happened on that day. Let's go inside the senatorial committee meeting and let's learn more about the issue.
The chairman has the right to limit the time of testimony for time or content purposes. When a witness is about to speak, he or she should introduce themselves and address their comments to the committee. Next up is Senator Nasheed with Senate Bill 628. Senator, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. For the record, I am Senator Jamilah Nasheed. Today I present to you Senate Bill 628 for your consideration as well as your support. Senate Bill 628 will require police departments operated in Missouri's 5 largest cities to provide its officers with body cameras. Those cities are St. Louis, Kansas City, Springfield, and Columbia, as well as Independence. Senate Bill 628 will apply to all off-duty officers and officers that are in uniform while they're interacting with the public. It does not require any recording by desk officers or undercover officers. My bill will support accountability for both law enforcement as well as civilians. Communities with body cameras have seen drastic reduction in complaints. Case in point, in Pittsburgh alone, complaints against police officers dropped approximately 74% after introducing body cameras to their force. There's also been a reduction in the use of force incidents. In San Diego, the use of force incidents decreased by 47% in the 14 months after launching the body cameras there. Recordings will be available to the public on the same basis as incidents reports. And in your packet that we passed out, you should have the incidents reports that are already in statute, meaning that there will be no footage until the incident has been investigated and completed.
You mean released?
Released, right. So in addition to the Chapter 610, Section 100, it truly lays out the provision that's already in statute in terms of privacy. In addition to those provisions, I am considering language that has already been adopted by the state of Oklahoma.
Senator Munslinger? Pass. Anyone have questions of Bill's sponsor? I got one. How come the cities never responded to your request? Did you request that information from them?
They basically sent out a request for information, and it's up to the cities to respond. And apparently, the city of St. Louis didn't respond one way or the other. The police department didn't respond one way or the
Kansas
other.
City, Independence, Springfield?
Yeah. And that's a problem.
All right. Okay, any further questions of this witness? Seeing none. Senator, you want me to call up? You want me to just...
Yes, I do have today with me Michael Brown's mother. She's here to testify in support of Senate Bill 628. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome. Anyone else is here wanting to testify in support of this bill? If there's an empty chair, just go ahead and grab you one. That way you don't have to stand up and you'll be ready to go. Welcome, ma'am. You can introduce yourself and where you're from, and you may present your information.
My name is Lezley McFadden, the mother of Michael Brown, and I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to testify on behalf of Senate Bill 628. I am here because my son Michael Brown was shot and killed at the hands of a Ferguson police officer. It has been 557 days, and I'm still left with the mystery surrounding what really happened to my son on August 9th. I understand that police-worn body cameras are only a piece of the puzzle when it comes to the whole picture of police accountability and transparency. But body cameras are not a substitute for good policy, good training, or good community policing programs. It is important for police departments to make sure new hires participate in cultural sensitivity training that will help teach police officers how to bridge the gap between communities and themselves. Some studies show when police officers work and walk the beat, crime rates decrease because police officers know people in the community. Also, police departments should make sure they hire police officers that mirror the community. I challenge you to think long and hard in your decision to pass SB 628. Any discussion of police-worn body cameras is also a discussion of the foundation of Missouri's criminal justice system. That foundation is trust. Trust in the fairness of the system. Trust in the men and women that work in the system. And ultimately trust that justice will be done. The video footage from police-worn body cameras can be used as evidence to enhance the state's pursuit of justice for victims and families of police-involved shootings and incidents. This evidence can also ensure that one's guilt or innocence is determined in a court of law and not in a court of public opinion. In the cases of police shooting victims with Quan McDonald in Chicago and Walter Scott in South Carolina, it was proven that the acting police officers provided false narratives of the shooting. When there is no recording of these accounts, it's hard to prove what is true and accurate. In the days following the tragic murder of my son, I was amazed and upset at how quickly my son's character and image was assassinated and mischaracterized. Michael Brown, my son, was not some fictional character or Incredible Hulk. He was my son. You don't know my son. He was an animal lover. His first dog's name was Spike. His favorite foods were everything except for turkey. From the day he was born, I captured all of those special moments in his life. His first birthday, his first day of school, and other sentimental moments, even his high school graduation. I wish you had known my son. My son's future was bright. He did not have a juvenile record, but unfortunately, his last steps in life, I have no account of. On August 9th, there was no recorded account of my son's last moments in life. I still do not have closure or the solid truth of what really happened that day. Please let police-worn body cameras be a voice of truth and transparency in Missouri communities. I'm asking you to work together with fellow legislators to create a solid bill that has the potential to help the community regain the trust that has been lost from police departments across the state of Missouri. Is justice an incidental to law and order? Political posturing and restrictive legislation is not the solution. As a mother who lost her son, I ask you to not let this bill just sit on your desk. I ask that you will put my words on your hearts and minds and think about the families that need closure, truth and transparency when defending and dealing with their loss. The death of my son and all other unarmed victims to police-involved shootings, whose deaths must not be in vain. Sorry. Their blood cries out for answers from the streets. And please know that this isn't a black and white issue. This is a right and wrong issue. And I'm asking you today, will you stand on the side of what's right? Thank you.
It's not one bill that's going to fix everything, but people are looking for hope. And they are trusting a second year in a row for this body to step up and do something for a community that has been injured multiple times. There is an issue that he brought up dealing with special prosecuting attorneys that was in my bill last year. So this is not the first time this has been brought up. This is now the second time it's been brought up. Having special prosecuting attorneys appointed. It was in either Senate Bill 21 or 22 last year. And in these cases, the reason why that is important is because the instructions that were given to that grand jury were wrong. And when we talk about deadly force, we're 30 years out of compliance. We have an entire community back at home in St. Louis County that does not trust our prosecuting attorney today. Had we had a prosecuting attorney, a special appointed prosecuting attorney, there would be more faith in the system. And I just really do hope, along with all the other things that we're talking about, the use of force, body cameras, that we also think about having a special prosecuting attorney, because that was where one of the true injuries were in this entire situation.
I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you about the issues related to Senator Nasheed's bill, which will allow cameras for officers. The officers that I've talked to around the state are encouraged by the opportunity to have this tool, and that's exactly what it is. Missouri for a long time has faced a constitutional challenge. It's an issue that I think we've all acknowledged with over a dozen years collected of information showing that people are racially profiled, stopped in vehicles and in their person, searched unnecessarily based on skin color and biases that have been elicited and propagated in other ways. What we suggest is the NAACP that it's time for the state of Missouri to take a hold of the same technology that other states have. Those include South Carolina, Texas, Oklahoma, to allow the officers and our citizenry to be protected from the intrusions that law enforcement has made and the way that they've done that.
We're going to continue to push for body cameras. We're going to work across party lines to get it done. Lezley's going to be fighting alongside me because she wants it just as much as everyone in the city of St. Louis wants body cameras. So with that, one more question and I'm going back to work.
Senator, can you explain a little bit about how quickly you think this video would be available to the public based on certain kinds of police reports?
No, I cannot. No, I cannot.
That's
not at
still
this time.
something to be developed.
Yeah. We're just in our infant stage of developing this important piece of legislation that will change the dynamics here in the state of Missouri when it comes to police and community relations.
When do you have a date you'd like to see this substitute?
I don't care if it's the last day of session. We just need to get it done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
What's your perspective on police-worn body cameras? Let your elected officials know. It's your right. This is Brian Young from Another Perspective, reporting on issues that affect our community.